The agenda items for Prime Minister Modi were clear: trade, terror and curbing black money. This is what India focused on mostly. At the all-important bilateral with President Donald Trump, Prime Minister Modi focused on Iran, India's bid for a 5G network, defense and economic ties. Calling talks with President Trump as quote-unquote wide-ranging, Prime Minister Modi tweeted saying, "We discussed ways to leverage the power of technology, improve defense and security ties, as well as issues relating to trade." Also discussed were India's concerns over Iranian oil sanctions. India highlighted that its concern was not primarily limited to oil, but peace and stability in the Gulf. The two leaders also discussed Chinese telecoms equipment maker Huawei. Washington is pushing allies to shun Huawei in their fifth generation of 5G networks on security grounds. The two leaders, though, skipped the contentious issue of India's $5 billion deal with Russia for the S-400 Triumph long-range missile amid threat of US sanctions. India also skipped the specifics on the trade war, given that a detailed discussion took place just this week when US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo visited New Delhi. India slapped tariffs on 28 American products earlier this month in response to Washington withdrawing its long-standing trade concessions to India on the 1st of June. But the government said that both sides were working at resolving all trade issues, all outstanding issues, in fact, including trade.
Discussion on trade. Both sides aired their concerns. Both sides spoke about the interests of the other side. And what was agreed was that the trade ministers of both countries would meet at an early date and would try and sort out these issues. The Prime Minister did mention in particular that we had taken some action after the GSP was revoked, that was now something that had already happened, and we should now look forward and we should see how we can resolve some of these issues. President Trump, of course, welcomed this idea.
While at the BRICS informal meet, Prime Minister Modi outlined the threats of terrorism to the world economy, calling on world leaders to work together to curb terror on a global scale. He defined terror as the biggest threat to humanity, and rightly so. But what is important to note is that very little concessions were made by either side on trade, both the US and India. And Prime Minister Modi's message to Trump was clear. At the RIC summit, or the Russia, India, China trilateral later in the evening, India highlighted the importance of multilateralism and a liberal world order that is not defined by unilateral action. You see where this is going. The three nations agreed to rules-based trade, opposing protectionism. They pitched for abiding by the rules of the World Trade Organization, the WTO. Also, India highlighted the need for fighting black money at a global scale.